about water and urban places. This is Ideanthro. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ideanthro. And more specifically, welcome back to another That's Like Worsted episode, where we take an idea or a concept that we've read about, heard about, or otherwise come across, and relate it back to water-sensitive urban design. Today's idea comes from Matthew Syed's book, Black Box Thinking. And broadly speaking, this book is about how the way progress is made in the world, the way we improve the world, is by admitting our mistakes, admitting our failures, rigorously investigating them, and then systematically improving upon them. In the book, there are lots of examples, but I want to show you one, and this one actually, in a roundabout way, comes from another book. He is speaking about someone else's description of a piece of work here, but I've come across it through this book. I want to share that with you, and then talk to you about how I think this relates back to the development assessment process. So let's play a little snippet of this book and take it from there.
Perfectionism is, in many ways, more extreme. You spend so much time designing and strategizing that you don't get a chance to fail at all, at least until it's too late. It is pre-closed loop behavior. You were so worried about messing up that you never even get on the field of play. In their book Art and Fear, David Bales and Ted Orland tell the story of a ceramics teacher who announced on the opening day of class that he was dividing the students into two groups. Half were told that they would be graded on quantity. On the final day of term, the teacher said he would come to class with some scales and weigh the pots they had made. They would get an A for 50 pounds of pots, a B for 40 pounds, and so on. The other half would be graded on quality. They just had to bring along their one perfect pot. The results were emphatic. The works of highest quality were all produced by the group graded for quantity. As Bales and Orland put it, it seems that while the quantity group was busily churning out piles of work and learning from their mistakes, the quality group had sat theorizing about perfection and in the end had little more to show for their efforts than grandiose theories and a pile of dead clay.
And there you go. A somewhat counterintuitive suggestion here is that, like, in the sense that the people who were incentivized, who were told that they would get graded on the best quality of pot that they made, did not in the end produce the best quality of pot. In fact, it was the people who were graded on the quantity who by accident got a whole lot of practice doing it and got better at making pots and produced a better pot. This got me thinking about the development assessment process. And remember that at the beginning of this little segment I played you, it's talking about perfection here. And the fact that when perfectionism is at play, we can be so caught up on getting stuff right that we actually fail to get onto the field of play altogether. And I think this is something that's occurring in the DA process. Because essentially what the DA process says is, look, there is a right way to do it, a one right way to do it, and you need to do that. Now I know we have performance-based planning and the like, but seriously, tell me if that actually applies in the majority of cases. The majority of time, DA is very restrictive, not very innovative at all. And so it gets me wondering, and I'm no libertarian by any means here. In fact, I probably come from the other side of the tracks initially here. But it got me wondering about this. What would happen if instead of in the DA process, us trying to jam people all the time down into this model of, look, build that bioretention system and hit exactly those numbers, get exactly that. Because this is essentially saying, look, we have predetermined what quality means, get to quality, right? And in this instance, there's no opportunity to try different things, to assess differences, because there's just this like, look, get there, think about how you're doing it, and get there. Don't experiment, don't try, don't fail, and therefore don't learn from your failing. Just do it. It got me thinking that maybe, and this is relevant in the context of recent discussions on Ideanthro about our need to do more with less. If you haven't heard that, go back to episode 197 and start following from there. This is relevant in that discussion because the doing more with less concept means that we need to innovate above and beyond what we're currently doing with water-sensitive urban design. And given that so many of our water-sensitive approaches are delivered through the DA process, if DA doesn't allow us to innovate, And if innovation and learning and improvement requires us to be able to fail and fail and fail and fail and try and try and try and try and improve, then we're not going to get the innovation, and we're not going to get the improvement, and we're not going to get where we need to go with water sensitive urban design. So it got me thinking, what would happen if we had a DA process where we actually incentivized people to just try a lot of different things and see what worked, and waited for them to essentially select for themselves the right answer. Now, look, this scares me, right? Because this is sounding like remarkably libertarian, and I can already hear arguments against this, where people going, oh look, if we just let people do whatever they'll do, it'll just be lowest common denominator, it'll just be like the wild, wild west. But honestly, if I hadn't been reading this book and someone had told me about the quality versus quantity of pop making thing, I would have said that it was the people who were going for quality that would have got it right, and the quantity people would have had a shambles. But in fact, it was completely the other way around. So it makes me wonder, just maybe, could the DA process work better the other way around? Okay, that's opened up a can of worms. Enjoy discussing that. I will see you next time.
Before you go, our best episodes come from your questions. This knowledge base, these discussions that are Ideanthro, improve with your contribution. So if there's a topic, an idea, a concept that you would like us to explore, come and ask us. You know where to find us. www.ideanthro.com/contact. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and that place you get your good podcasts from. You know where to find us. We look forward to hearing from you. We'll see you soon.